If someone would have asked me, how will I describe this year 2023 in 3 words? I'm going to say first, intriguing, challenging, and grateful. And why did I say that? This year was really a hell of a ride. It was really challenging, and I'm really grateful that I was able to get through so many issues and all of that stuff. And I have a lot to be grateful for. So I was intrigued, I was challenged, and now I'm so freaking grateful for literally how this year have been so far. So in this episode, we are going to be talking about the lessons I learned this year, and I also want to get to hear from you guys. What lessons did 2023 teach you guys so far? So feel free to leave it in the comments below. So let's quickly dig in. 2023, I decided to start 2023 in a very different way, unlike the way I do things before. I started out by listing out my goals, what I really want to achieve, things I need to stop doing, things I need to do. I wanted to be very intentional because I was like, no, this year I want to be very proud of myself at the end of the year. And so far so good. I have a lot of lessons I've learned so far that I cannot wait to share with you guys. So let's freaking dig in. The first lesson I learned is courage conquers fear. As a human being, we are always scared. We have a lot of things to fear. We have a lot of things that scare the shit out of us, especially what people will say, what if I fail? What if, it doesn't work out? All of those kind of fears, right? But one thing I realized is that those fear, that particular fear, the fear of fear is actually why I haven't been able to start living the life that I want, to start doing things I need to achieve the life that I need. So in 2023, I finally realized that courage conquers fear. And what do I mean? When you have courage to do something, having courage does not mean you are not going to be scared. Having courage is that you can be able to get things done regardless of how scared you are. So while learning from other people, listening to podcasts, reading books and all of that stuff, I realized that fear is a part of life. It's something that you should not feel abnormal about. But the only thing is that you shouldn't let fear stop you from achieving what you truly want to achieve. And it was at that point that it struck me that I have no choice. For me to be able to go after what I really want, to get things done, to have the life that I really want, I have to learn to do things while being scared. Because most of the time we think when we are scared we should just there, we shouldn't do anything. And that is actually what many people do. Let's say someone wants to write a book and then they get scared. Oh my God, I'm not that intelligent. What do I say? What will people think? And all of that. Because of those fears, they will just end up not writing that book. But what I've learned so far is that courage conquers fear, which means that you can write that book while being scared. You can write that book feeling the anxiety, being scared of all of those shit. But the thing is that you have to still go ahead and write that book anyway. So I was able to learn this, and this is why I was able to start some things I've been trying to do for freaking how many years that fear have been stopping me to achieve so far. So right now, it does not mean that I'm no longer scared, but the difference is that I can now do things while being scared. I can now achieve things while being scared. And that is what I call courage conquers fear. So I would also love you to take that and apply it in your life. Now, the second lesson I have learned in the year 2023 so far is procrastination is the enemy of progress. When you procrastinate, you stop yourself from getting closer to your goal, getting closer to success. That is actually what I didn't really realize. I just saw it that I'm playing around. Oh, tomorrow I'll do it. Okay, next month. Okay, next 2 months. But time is passing and time is priceless. You can buy everything with money, but you cannot buy time. And you see that time, if you don't make use of it very well, you are going to regret it. So why do you have to procrastinate to actually do things you know that will be very helpful to you? Whenever you want to see a movie, do you procrastinate when you want to go hang out? Do you procrastinate when you want to enjoy yourself? Do you procrastinate? procrastinate. So why do you procrastinate when you know that you have something you need to do that will make your life better? So this lesson actually helped me that whenever I want to get something done and then I have this feeling of, okay, let me do it later, I usually stop and ask myself, it doesn't come naturally, but I had to cultivate this habit. I stop and I ask myself, why do you want to do it tomorrow? Why not now? If you do it now, would you die? So this is how I actually started, cultivating the habit of to stop procrastinating. So then when I ask myself those questions and I realized that I don't really have a good reason for not doing it then. And then I decided to okay, when I get this thing done, I'm going to have this feeling of achievement instead of regretting that I didn't do it. So why not? Let me just go ahead and do it. So whenever I do it, I usually treat myself to a treat or be happy or, give myself a break or something. That is what I really do. And it has really helped me in 2023. So I would also want you to try this out. The third lesson I learned so far is networking is the key to unlocking potentials. If you know me very well, you will know that I love to be a lone wolf. I believe I can do things myself, being independent and all of that stuff. And it's because of the fact that I don't know how to ask people and I prefer to not get no as an answer, right? But then this can actually be a good habit, but also a very bad habit somehow, because in the world of business, in the world of career, in real life, you can't do everything yourself. A tree cannot make a forest. You need people to grow. You need people to excel. You need people to succeed. That is where networking comes in place. So when I realized this is a lesson I learned so far, because I've been hearing people say things like, oh my God, I got this job, I was referred by a friend, or I got referred by someone I know on LinkedIn, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, how do I experience all these freaking things? And guess what? Why would I experience it when I'm not networking, when I'm literally not talking to anyone, when I have nobody in my face? And when I mean networking, I don't mean that you have to be friends with people, but you just have to put yourself out there, let people know who you are, talk to people, and guess what? It's just going to freaking change your life. So try and start networking today and don't be like my old self. So the fourth lesson I learned in 2023 is that you can only see results when you take actions. You can only see results when you take actions. I had to say that again so you can sink in. Yet a lot of time everybody wants to succeed, right? You want to achieve this, you want to achieve that. If you see someone saying, oh my God, I don't know how to, let's say for an instance, I don't know how to write, and you always complain, I don't know how to write. You're waiting for the knowledge of writing to fall into your palms, right? It doesn't work that way. You have to actually take action. You can only succeed when you take action. You don't know how to write. Start writing. By the time you keep making a couple of mistakes, asking questions, even right now, life is so freaking easy. You can get any knowledge online. Go on YouTube, search it, go on Google, search. You would always find freaking answers everywhere. So don't stay and wait till your solution falls into your lap, because guess what is not going to happen. So you have to go out there and take action. The very moment you start taking action, the very moment you start seeing results. So for you to really want to see results, be very ready to take action. So this was a lesson I actually learned this year, and it has really helped me. Each time I feel like I don't know how to do this, I get started. I have to know that for me to get successful at this, I have to take action, and it has really pretty helped me, and I believe I'm going to keep doing that moving forward. So the fifth lesson I learned in 2023 is that dream big and never settle. Most times I've realized that we are scared of actually having a big dream because of the point you are in your life. Let's say now you are at just a regular level, and then your dream is to actually become this top person, private jet, going for big things, right? I don't know what your own dreams is like, but you know what I'm talking about. Now, because of the fact you are far behind, or probably where you are is kind of low, you now think you have no right to dream big, because you now lie to yourself, you now talk to yourself in bad ways. Oh, you can never be that and all of that stuff. That is really wrong. This is a lesson I learned this year. Everybody I have read their story and came in contact with this year that really shared their journey with me have made me realize that whatever they achieved right now, that they were in a place they never thought they could achieve it. But guess what? Regardless of the fact that they were in a place they never thought they could achieve it, they still dreamed. They didn't stop themselves from dreaming. They didn't doubt. They have to start taking the steps that will help them achieve that dream. So if you have stopped dreaming because of the fact that you are somewhere you think you can never achieve those dreams, stop it, because nobody have actually achieved the dream without dreaming it. Continue dreaming and then be realistic about things to do and steps to take that will be able to actualize those dreams for you. So the sixth lesson I learned in 2023 is that success requires focus and dedication. Yes, I know that I really want to succeed, right? I used to just, yes, I want to be this girl, I want to be that girl, I want to make it, I want to be very rich. In fact, I just used to tell myself that I know I'm going to be rich. But guess what? I realized this year, and I learned this lesson this year, that regardless of what you think of yourself and what you desire, if I'm not, being focused, if I'm not being dedicated, if I'm not doing the right things, I'm not going to be able to achieve it. And now this is about us making decisions, like doing things haphazardly. Okay, you want to learn a skill that you believe if you do that skill if you learn that skill very, very well and you go after that career very, very well, you are going to be able to achieve success, right? But the problem is that we decide to do it haphazardly. We don't do it well. And my mom usually says this: whatever is worth doing is worth doing well. And I know that she's definitely very right. But sometimes laziness, and sometimes, okay, let me just do it anyways, and all of that. So when you do it anyhow, you're going to have an anyhow result. Do you get? You're not going to have the result you're looking at. So if you really want that result you're looking at, you have to learn to do things very, very well. Give your best and not just do it haphazardly. So I really learned that in 2023, and I've been trying to do much freaking better. Whatever I want to do, I try to give my best. I try to keep improving. I don't longer want to do things haphazardly, because whatever is worth doing is worth doing well. So this is the final lesson, and this one I left it because it's actually a very huge lesson for me, and I am still working on this for myself. And I believe that is going to be very helpful to you as well. So this lesson is: growth is a continuous process. Honestly, I used to also think that growth is to achieve something at once. Once you just achieve it, you have grown and all of that. But it's not really like that. In 2023, I've gotten to understand that growth is a part of life. You don't stop growing. You don't achieve everything at once. You get growth is a continuous journey. And when you know this, you're going to give yourself time to fail, learn, and relearn. Do you get me right? Continue growing. You have to take your time. You have to keep growing. You have to keep improving, and never limit yourself. So this is the lessons I've learned in 2023 so far. And tell me your lessons, the lessons you have learned, because I'm looking to hear from you guys. In the comments, find me on Instagram, DM me, whatever. I'm going to be responding to everything. I really want to hear from you guys. And thank you guys for listening to the very end of this episode. I am glad that you are here. So if you are yet to subscribe to the Flip the Social Switch podcast, please do well to subscribe and share this episode to any of your loved ones, your friends, your family. I am going to really appreciate that. Thank you guys for listening, and see you next week. On 27 December 2023, I asked a question on my LinkedIn, and the question went like this. I was like, how do you feel about the year 2023 for you? And then these are the answers that I was able to impute. One is accomplished, two is unsatisfied, three is unsure, and then four is regretful. And then about 70% answered unsatisfied, 50% answered accomplished, another 50% answered regretful, and then about 20% answered unsure. And this is literally their experience. Everyone is speaking their mind and all of that. And then in the comment section, some people were like complaining, feeling bad, talking about how much they felt like they should have achieved more, how they wish they were able to like do better and all of that stuff. And then the crazy thing is that the 2023 is long gone. There is nothing you can do about it. The year have been spent, but the only thing is that we are being offered another beautiful year, another year for you to get it right, another year for you to make vital decisions that will change your life. And that year is 2024. And in this podcast, I'm going to be talking about today what you need to do to make your 2024 a better and a greater year for you. So instead of like sitting back and regretting how 2023 went for you, how you don't like the fact that you didn't achieve much, or if you actually felt accomplished, very good for you. But if you are in the category of people that are regretting how their year went and they really wish they could do better, this episode is for you. Now, if you're yet to subscribe to this podcast, please do well to subscribe to this podcast so you can always get notified whenever there is a new podcast episode. And also do me a favor and share this podcast episode to your friends and family that you know this podcast episode is going to be very much helpful to, because I am very certain they are going to be able to gain value from this episode. Now, the big question is, how do you get started? What do you have to do to make 2024 a great year for you, a year worth living, right? The year have started, the new me, new year, and all of that stuff, but then you are like, what do you do? You are still confused. You still feel like your old self and all of that. But inside of you, possibly you really want to make this year worth it. You really want to like, go after the life that you want. You believed inside of you that one way or the other, you believe that you can actually give this year your best shot. So if this felt like you, make sure to listen to this episode to the very end, because I have a lot in stock for you. Now, to make 2024 a very great year for you, I'm going to start off by telling you that you have to stop regretting about the past. You might not be like cautious of this. You might think you're over it. Okay, now it's a new year. Let me get started. But somehow inside of you, you might want to take action because of the fact that you are not over it yet. You have not spoken to yourself. You have not decided to move on. There will be that part of you that is still trying to hold you back, and then, making you less motivated. So this is why it is very important for you to sit by yourself, talk to yourself, stop regretting, ask yourself questions. What is it that I did wrong, and why did I behave like that, and what do you think you can do now to make things better, and all of that. So when you have to consult yourself and converse with yourself, you can be able to like, move forward and stop regretting how you spent 2023 and how 2023 wasn't a favorable year, or like it was a mid-year. I don't know the occasion, right? So you have to stop regretting the past, and you have to decide to move on. You have to decide, to let go of what happened in the past. Be in the past. You are in the present, and you have to live in the present, and you have to use the present. You have to give your best to the present so that your future will be bright. I don't know if you get me. Now, the second thing you have to know is that you need to make a conscious decision that this new year, this 2024, you have to get things right. Yes, you are no longer regretting about 2023. You have decided to move forward. You have decided to like get things right, but you need to make a conscious decisions to get it right. I mean, this is you competing with you. You're telling you now that you are not going to like deal with all those excuses you usually make before, all those I can't do this, I'm shy, what will people say. You have to like decide with yourself that this year you have to go all out, regardless of what people think, regardless of what your old self is saying to you. You have to move forward and make sure to get it right. So you have to say this to yourself and decide it and be very cautious of it, so that you can be on the right path headed to the place you already had in mind. Now, the third thing you should do is to be able to like list down realistic things you want to do. I can call these goals. Yes, these are supposed to be your goals, the goals that you have for 2024, the things you really want to achieve. I mean, do not just assume, oh, I want to buy a private jet, or I want to do this. It has to be very realistic. It has to be something that you really want to achieve. You know that this is something that you really want to go after. It's something you can be able to get done if you set your mind into it. So don't be greedy, but also don't be like, don't belittle you get don't belittle yourself. Decide on what you really want to go for. Have your goals and then write them down, because and then write them down, because you can have goals. If it's not written down, then it's no goals. Like you are just thinking in your brain. So for it to be realistic, you need to list them down, so that you can always go back to it and remind yourself on what you have the intention of achieving, and it's going to keep guiding you throughout the year while you tick them off one by one. Then the fourth thing you should consider doing, I'm not even just saying consider, it is very essential that you do this, is for you to come up with how you want to achieve this. Yes, everyone can have a goal, everyone can write down a goal, but not everyone can achieve that goal, right? If wishes are horses, beggars will ride. So now you know your goals, you have to be able to like decide, how am I going to be able to achieve these goals? What do I need to do? You have to plan, because who has not planned has already planned to fail. So now you need to plan, this is what I want, which is the goal, and this is how I want to achieve this goal. This is the steps I have to take. And then the little advice I have for you is that you don't just, you have to, I mean, be specific. In a month, in a week, this is what you want to achieve, because all those tiny, tiny daily efforts is what is going to like round up to become your success, right? Because I see many people like they would just assume that, oh, this is how I'm going to do this, but they will not, they will not like break it down. They will not make it simple. You have to simplify it. You have to break it down, so that you know that in a day, this is the effort you have to put in to achieve this, because all of them will have to accumulate at the end of the month or year to give you the success that you want. And now the fifth thing you need to do is to create a vision board. You might have heard about it, or maybe you don't really understand what it's like. But a vision board it doesn't make you stupid. Like some people actually like would make you feel like you are being delulu. And being delulu is not bad. Yes. Sometimes we don't have to be extremely, realistic. You know the life that you want. You have to like be delulu sometimes. Yes, I do that also, and it helps. I won't lie then. But back to what I'm saying, you need to create a vision board. This vision board is going to be like sort of an illustration of what you want, like everything you want to achieve, like a summary of everything you want to achieve. Let's say for an instance, you are a speaker, or you want to like be going for events, going for like TED Talks and all of that. to speak and all of that. You can actually like get an image that explains that situation and put it on your vision board. If you also like want to fly around, let's say you are into lifestyle travel and all of that, you can also get an image of it and put it on your vision board. If you also want to like, let's say you want to get a degree before the end of the year, you need to put something that describes what you are trying to achieve on your vision board. And when you are looking at these things every time, I mean, it must not be daily, as much as you can. It's going to keep reminding you on what you really want. It's going to keep guiding you that this is what you want, and how, and it's going to like put it in your heart to wake up every day to make sure that you are doing everything you can to achieve what you want, right? It's going to be an everyday reminder for you as much as you look at it and all of that. And it's going to put it in your mind and make it easier for you to believe that these things that you're seeing is very much achievable. Because honestly, the real deal is that someone out there is already living the life that you're wishing for. So so it's not like it's impossible, it's not like it's something that is not realistic. So that is why you need to create a vision board so that you will be reminded of this is what you want, and it's going to guide you and put the fire in your soul to keep going after the life you really want. Then the sixth thing I have to say is that you need to surround yourself with the right people. I can't overemphasize enough on this. Like, yes, sometimes we are like, it doesn't matter, I can be friends with everybody and all of that. Nobody is saying you can't be friends with everybody, but like when you have people that think like you, people that are even better than you are going to freaking do so much more better. As they always say, if there are five intelligent people and then you are the sixth person among them, you're going to be the sixth intelligent person. And if there are five foolish people and you're the sixth person with them, you are going to be the sixth foolish person. So you have to make your choice. Surround yourself with amazing people that think, that are already living the life that you want, or like their reasons are like and have the same kind of goals that you're looking at achieving and all of that. They're going to encourage you, motivate you, and change your mindset. But if you decide to surround yourself with the wrong people, it is going to be very hard for you to move forward, because you are surrounded with people that are not thinking the way you are thinking, and they will definitely put you down or drag you down even without being intentional about it. Now, the final thing I would want to tell you, which is not the least, is for you to take actions. At the end of the day, if you don't take actions, none of these things would make sense. None of these things will become a reality. You can have a knowledge, you can know everything, you can get the best advice in this world. But until you start taking actions, that is when you will start seeing results. And I want you to be able to like use this 2024 to start taking action. Stop making excuses, stop postponing, stop saying later, or like, you know, what will people say? You are shy, you're not ready. Whatever is it that you really want to achieve, go after it. Take action. You want to learn how to write? Start writing. Don't wait till you already know how to write, because basically no one would know how to write if they have not started writing. You won't know how to work if you don't make effort to start working. So you would learn from experience. That is why this final point is extremely important, because after applying the rest and you don't take action, you are not going to be successful. So take action now and make sure to never ever ever give up. Quite all right. I won't tell you that it's going to be very easy, but then I would also tell you that it will not be impossible. So make sure you never give up and keep doing the right thing, keep encouraging yourself, and surround yourself with amazing people that will keep encouraging you as well and never let you fall. So So this is all I have for you guys today. If you also have some vital points you would want to add to this, you can leave it in the comments, leave a review, and share this episode to your friends that this episode is going to be very much helpful to. Thank you guys for listening and see you next week.